By now, you've probably heard my magic wand story. It's a brand that's been part of my personal journey for more than 20 years. But no matter how many times I sing Magic Wand's praises, I'll never be able to fully capture the story of this incredible brand. Well, now journalist and author Kate Sloan just completed a limited audio series documenting the history and impact that Magic Wand has created over the last 56 years. It's called Making Magic. And the series chronicles Magic Wand's incredible brand story through interviews with nearly 40 experts, performers, business owners, educators, and fans. So I got a sneak preview of the series, and what I loved is that Kate weaves together snippets from all their interviews into this amazing story arc. She covers Magic Wand's journey from appliance store massager to its legendary influence on culture and sexual independence, and it's all just fascinating. The first episodes of Making Magic are available now at makingmagicseries.com or on all popular podcast platforms. Just search for Making Magic or visit makingmagicseries.com today.
I don't know if you remember me, but I talked to you 2 years ago. You actually gave me the idea of using candles. And I just wanted to call and give you a status report.
What? You use the candles?
Yes, they did, and we are married now.
Man, I'm so happy for you. That is amazing.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and I'm here to help you prioritize your pleasure and liberate the conversation around sex. You know, a lot of what I do here on Sex with Emily is answer your questions, whether you call in or you email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com. I love it. I love helping you take the next step. But something awesome happened a few weeks ago. A bunch of you called in and shared that not only you had already talked, given advice, but you're calling back in. And a lot of you shared how things worked for you, and now you're ready for the next step. I mean, if you're in a relationship and you think, nope, I can never talk to my partner about what's really on my mind, or our sex life is just done, I thought it'd be inspiring for you to hear some callers took the advice and made some real changes. Intentions with Emily. For each episode, I want to start off by setting an intention for the show, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. So what I mean is, when you're listening, what do you want to get out of the episode? You know, it could be, I want to know how a couple turns around their sex life. And my intention is to show you a few different ways having healthy conversations with your partner can actually change your life. And I'm grateful to all of you for making this show possible, because without you, let's be honest, Sex with Emily wouldn't exist. So thanks for listening and calling and writing in. And if you have any questions you want to ask, call me directly Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific. I can also help you take the next step, figure out relationship goals. We got a lot going on in the new year. Setting your successful goals for the new year. So call me, 888-947-8277. All right, enjoy the show. Let's talk to Shannon, 42, in Texas. Hi, Shannon. What's going on? Thanks for calling.
Hey, Dr. Emily, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How's it going?
Well, neither my husband nor I, thank God, have lost our jobs during this COVID. We've been married 21 years. I'm 42, he's 45, but I'm a nurse. I'm a hospice nurse. So been having a lot of patients that have been affected by COVID, and I've had quite a few patients that have died, and sex is the last thing on my mind. And, you know, he's a typical man and he has needs, and all day I'm taking care of patients that are dying. I'm taking care of them, their families. I'm just emotionally spent. And then my husband, you know, I feel like I'm just pulled in all these directions, but I'm so exhausted. Emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, but I just wish that I need to make the time for him, because I feel like that's so important too, you know.
Oh, Shannon, I hear it in your voice.
In a big way.
Shannon, so glad you called in. This is
too.
rough, I know. Shannon, you know, when you just said to me, you just said, you know, at least I have to make time for him. And I'm sitting here thinking, Shannon, You have to make time for you. That's,
Yeah.
when you fill your tank up, you're going to be able to be there for your husband. But right now, it's about you finding time to step away. And when you do, it's not about taking care of your husband. It's about, or the kids. Do you have kids?
I have a 16-year-old son. Yes.
Okay. What can you
Why
do
do
to
I feel
work this?
guilty about taking care about myself, though?
Oh, because I
put
listen, you're a
myself
nurse. I know. You know what? Many women are not wired that way. We're caretakers. We're really
Right.
nurturing. We always are worrying about everyone else, and our own needs come last. And
Right.
perhaps our mothers were like that, our father, it's just, it's our wiring that we actually in some way you're a nurse, I'm a therapist, right? I love helping
Right.
people. Like, this is my joy.
Yes.
However, sometimes that comes first. And then I realize, Shannon, you know what I did last week? I went away for a week to this place that I can go. And and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I haven't done this in a year. And I unplugged. I didn't look at my phone for a few days. It took me 3 or 4 days till I finally felt that my nervous system was coming back to like parasympathetic, because it's been a stressful year. And you've probably had times 10 stress if you're a nurse working during COVID. So Shannon, I don't know who's taking care of you right now, but it sounds like it's going to have to be you. And so my mission for you my question is, what can you do tonight, this weekend, that is all about you? Because you've been with your husband for 21 years, and he's going to be okay if Shannon takes care of Shannon for a few days, because then you can show up for everyone.
Right. Yeah, and it feels like I don't even know what to do to take
What
care
makes
of
you feel
myself.
relaxed? Yeah.
A massage,
Massage. Can you call right now and get a massage when we hang up?
Yeah, actually, I do. I have a gift certificate from my birthday in February that I haven't used, and
yeah, that's what resets for me. So for me, if I get a massage or I take a steam shower, or like, that's when I feel like, okay, the layers are starting to, I can, kind of chill out and start to. So I would say that you deserve this. If they're still open right now, I would go tonight, or I'd go first thing in the morning, and then decide after that.
Right.
And you've been depleted, Shannon, the last 6 months. It's not, I can't imagine being a nurse right now with that, and you call in, you're worried about your husband, right? It's like and I think what you could do, and I'm not saying, oh, forget him, I would say, babe, I realize that I so want to be that loving sexual wife to you. And that is so important. But I've realized that I need to take the next week, and I'm going to just kind of every night after work, I'm going to do one thing every day that's self-care for me. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to see a friend for lunch. I'm going to get a manicure. It could be 30 minutes. We have 30 minutes, even an hour.
Right.
You could just say, I'm taking it.
Yes.
And then you can call me back on Wednesday. We could see how it's going. But I would say that sex isn't just all about the penetration. It's like maybe he needs a little bit of intimacy right now. So maybe you could hold hands, or you could, give each other massages on Tuesday for 10 minutes. But it doesn't mean that you need to get up and perform for him right now. You're unable to right now. And so you can let him know that your intention is to get back into your body the next week. And when you do that, you can't wait to be connected to him again.
Wow. And I feel like you just gave me like such permission to be able to do that. And it's okay. You said it was okay. So
yeah. Isn't that funny, Shannon? You asked me why just now. You said, well, why can't women, why is it so hard to give to yourself? It's because nobody gives us permission. We keep waiting for someone to say, oh, you look, you should go get a massage. No one does that. And so you have to, so I'm giving you permission to give yourself permission. And that's exactly it. Because then, yeah, you have my permission.
You fucking rock. You're so awesome.
Thank you, Shannon. So do
your
you.
Program about a month ago, and I've listened to you faithfully as I'm driving, and even listening to you helps me refill, and just I get so many good ideas. But I really appreciate your time and your advice, and I am going to take it, and I am going to do it.
Okay, Shannon, I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, really, you just made my night. So I know you will too. I actually hear it in your voice. You're going to take care of yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm here for you. Okay. I'm sending you lots of love. You deserve it. You have permission. Okay. Thank you.
Well,
bye, Shannon.
You.
I think you.
And I hope
thanks,
you
honey.
have a great night.
I will.
Right.
I will. I might get a massage too.
Bye.
Bye, Shannon.
Yes,
thanks for calling.
I will.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
How about that? Who else needs to take permission? Who else needs I'm giving everybody permission right now to take care of yourself and to say no to that thing you don't want to do this weekend. Lovingly text someone, say, you know what? I know I was going to come to your something, whatever you have to do on the weekends. I was going to say barbecue. Now it's like Zoom barbecue, but I can't, I'm not going to be able to make it. Isn't it interesting that we got to find the things that actually make us feel good and it takes a beat? So write down those things right now and then add it to your list this week. It could be walking around the block for, 20 minutes. Could be listening to your favorite music that you haven't listened to in a while. Calling a friend that makes you laugh, not the ones that suck the life out of you. I think we all need to take some time to get back into our bodies this weekend, whether that means sexually, romantically, going for a run. Let's talk to Greg, 55, in Ohio.
Hi, Dr. Emily.
Hi.
I just wanted to call back. We spoke the other day, and I was talking about trying to introduce my partner into interest in the BDSM, which
Yes.
I enjoy. I don't know if you remember or not.
I do. Well, tell me. Yeah, you want to be submissive, right?
I'm a submissive, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave me some really good advice, and I did go to your website, and my partner and I, we did sit down and we went through, because she's a little more to the conservative side. At least I kind of thought. I found out a bunch of stuff about it that I didn't know.
This is amazing, Greg. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call back and kind of let you know how things were progressing from that aspect. The advice you gave me was outstanding, and we're talking on a different level now, and it helped bring her out of her shell and open up that conversation, and it was incredibly valuable to both of us. So,
I'm so happy to hear that. So can we just rewind first? First off, I'm so glad you called to tell me how it landed, because I don't know. We hang up, might not hear from you again. God, I hope Greg, got his way. So could you walk me through, if you feel comfortable, how it changed? Because you've been together for a while, right? How long have you been with your wife?
About 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 years. Yeah, you directed me to your website and the list that you have of things you like and things you don't like, and
yes, no, maybe.
your yes, no's, your maybes, that type of thing. And so I did that and presented that to her, and we sat down and we had a couple glasses of wine and talked through everything, and then we went off in our own separate ways to kind of go through this, and we got back together and had a really good conversation and shared our discussions around this. And it's on a level that her and I have never really experienced before in the communication side, talking about sex. It's been kind of uplifting for both of us, and it's opened up my eyes. It's kind of opened her eyes, and I'm excited to see where this is going to go. But you wanted me to call back and kind of let you know how things were progressing and where it was going.
Oh, so Greg, I'm so happy. You just really, I'm so happy that you can turn around and see it's possible. You had the assumptions that she was a little more conservative, and you found out that she's got some stuff she's into. We don't know until we talk about it. I'm so happy. Greg, thank you for calling back in, and please keep me posted. This is just the beginning, of your sex life, of what's possible. What's the next step?
Yeah, I hope so.
What's the next step? What's going to happen this weekend?
Well, this weekend, we're actually going away for a night. Tomorrow night, we're going to go away and spend the night and just kind of become a little more intimate and talk more and figure out how we want to approach this going forward. She has some things that she kind of wants to try. I'm willing.
Can you tell me what she wants to try? Do you mind sharing with me one thing that you learned that she wants to try that you were surprised?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about fantasies and things like that. And her one fantasy is she wants to bring somebody into the bedroom with us. And, it's like, okay. But I didn't realize that was a really deep desire of hers. So I'm willing. And, we've got to figure out and talk about how and where and who and the ground rules and that type of thing. But I explained to her that I would be more than willing to help her fulfill that fantasy. The other one is she wants to explore a bisexual relationship, which is something that I would have never guessed. So that one, we've got some more talking to do. I'm personally don't mind. It just kind of caught me off guard.
Right.
And so we're going to talk through that, and we're going to spend the weekend talking. My aspect is I enjoy BDSM elements, and prior to us being together, I had a dominatrix that I was with, and that's how I was entered into the lifestyle. And so she's open to reaching out to watching a session to understand.
Greg,
that more.
I couldn't even imagine. Look how far you've come this week. This is amazing to me. Wow.
But it was your advice that kind of broke that ice, and that's why I wanted to tell you that. I'm really excited where it's heading. Really excited. Like I said, it opened both of our eyes to what we were keeping to ourselves.
Yeah. Because you probably did, you hadn't thought to bring it up, right? It's really hard to bring it up. But if you approach it in a way that's, hey, let's just talk about it for us, it's a game changer. And so many couples, it's such a wonderful example, Greg. I'm so happy for you because it does work to have a healthy conversation about sex. Yes, it's scary, right? You were nervous to bring it up and you didn't know how she would react. And you had some assumptions because you had never talked about it that maybe she wouldn't be into certain things. And now you get to go away for the weekend and keep kind of brainstorming and fantasizing and playing to get thinking about what's possible. And it's so exciting. It's like going on a sexual magic carpet ride together. So many places to go.
I'm very excited about it. Like I said, we've had the conversation. We kind of talked, but we never really talked, and really were open. It's general conversation, and like I said, we got into the icebreaker, and then we started talking, and then we went off and we had the lists and the sheets, and it really allowed us to open up and think. And
Greg, this just gives me so much joy. Now, no pressure, but if you call me back next week, I want to hear how the weekend goes. I'm following with you on your journey, even if you just want to email me. I'm so thrilled that you called in to let me know that the advice worked to have a healthy conversation with your partner.
No, and I thank you for that.
Of course. I got you.
That.
I'm here for you, Greg. My whole team here, we're so overjoyed. Really. You deserve this. And so does she. Why not meet each other's needs? Why not make sex an incredible experience for both of you? You're married. You got a whole life together. Thanks, Greg. I appreciate you. Thanks for calling in. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, we're going to take a quick break. There'll be more Sex with Emily. Thanks to everyone for supporting our sponsors. We only work with sponsors that we enjoy ourselves, and I hope you do too. Let's see. Tammy, 39 in Canada. How do I get my vagina talk, to relax in order to have my boyfriend penetrate me for vaginal sex? I'm a virgin and in a committed relationship. My boyfriend is amazing and listens to me while we're in bed. We have a good bedroom relationship. I'm open to trying anything with him. We took a trip out of town and I honestly thought I would finally get to have vaginal sex. He mostly takes the lead when it comes to initiating sexy time, and I'm okay with it. I like it. I think in part, I may be a submissive. We ended up having anal sex on this trip, and while it did catch me by surprise what he wanted in, he stopped to ask if it was okay with what he was about to do. I was more than okay. That experience was surreal and hella enjoyable. But I still feel that empty as all I wanted was be able to have his cock in me. I'm considering going to my doctor, but help. I'm asking you first. All right, Tammy, your vagina is not relaxed. You might have something that we call in the vagina business vaginismus, or a variation of that. It's really painful for women to, or vulvodynia is the other name for it, that it's very painful to have penetration. And I'm going to guess that it probably hurts maybe to put a tampon inside you or a finger inside of you. And while the causes for this different from woman to woman, there's a few things. It could have to do with a trauma earlier in life where sex became really scary. Maybe there was a sexual assault and your body just shut down from it. Maybe you even grew up in a stressful household where you were constantly clenching, right? The action of clenching impacts your pelvic floor. And as a result of constantly clenching those muscles, your vagina just closes. It feels closed up, and you can't have any penetration. And a lot of women suffer through this for a lifetime. And one of my best recommendations for you is to go see a pelvic floor physical therapist. Pelvic floor physical therapist. So just like you'd go to a physical therapist for your back or your knees, you can go to one for your vagina and diagnose what is happening in your pelvic floor. And for many women, the great news here is for women who suffer from this condition, give you something called dilators. They might do it with you and they might send you home with some. And these dilators kind of look like a dildo, and they come in all different shapes. So meaning it's like a long phallic object. And it's a practice of you put it inside and then you take it home with you and you do exercises where you might only be able to get it in for an inch or half an inch. And then over time, you can put it in further and further and further. And they teach you how to breathe and they teach you how to open up your vagina so you can actually have penetrative sex and a healthier sex life. And so I recommend it. It's not as well known as it should be. But I do hear a lot of more practitioners going into pelvic floor physical therapy. Your insurance company might have someone. You might be able to call up and see if they have that. You can find one in your area. Doctors up until maybe 20 years ago, they just were like, oh, it's trauma, or we don't really know, or it's inexplicable, or it's emotional. And it might be all of those things. If you had emotional trauma, I mean, just because your vagina might be open through doing this dilator practice where you are constantly upping the size of the dilator over a few week period, because it only takes a few weeks, which is awesome. The thing is that your vagina you might have been experiencing vaginismus or vulvodynia. Vulvodynia means it's more around the vulva and can't even take penetration in the vulva, which is the exterior part of the vagina. And vaginismus is internal hurts. But you could learn to open it pretty quickly, which is great news. And then if you have had trauma, you should also definitely see a therapist. If you have any kind of sexual trauma, assault, anything in your life, unfortunately, when you experience something as devastating as a sexual assault or trauma, it doesn't dissipate over time. It actually can exacerbate and get worse over time. So I recommend that women do it. Oh, good. Jennifer, 47 in Ohio, has a success story going to a pelvic floor PT. She's 47. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for calling. I was actually going to say, I was just about to say, call in if you've had this. Thank you, Jennifer.
Sure. So much of what you said resonated with me, and I just wanted to share with your listeners. My situation was a little different. I don't feel it was a trauma that caused it, but a few things. When you were saying clenching and how that can kind of seize up that area.
Yeah.
One thing that my PT specialist told me is actually I was kegling too much. And so my piriformis muscle was spasming. And I thought it was I'm going to be very, very raw here because you don't know who I am, but I thought it was my husband's shape. Like he's not straight. And so I was kind of not blaming it on him, but that's what I had in my mind, that it was because physically he's not going in me straight. So I thought he was hitting some area that was causing me problems. And sort of joking, he'd say, no, I think it's you. You need to get checked out. I think it's you. You need to get checked out. And it turned out it was me. And I went to a specialist, and it was uncomfortable and a little bit uneasy at first, but I was so happy that I did because I realized that I had an issue. And she said, I'm not going to say this is the right answer for everyone, but she said, don't kegel. Kegling is kind of like clenching of down there.
Yes, exactly. So Jennifer, had you been kegling your whole life? How old were you when this happened? Like, was it something that you had just started to do it?
About 40 probably. And yes, I would kegel a lot because I felt like it would make me tighter and it would help during sex. And so I would do it at stoplights. Maybe I was an over kegler, but maybe it wasn't necessarily that. It might've been a back situation, but
it could be your back too.
Yeah. And I was at my gym and there was a sign on the wall for a pelvic floor physical therapist. And I have even a longer funny story. My friend does this as a living, and I was at her 40th birthday and I gave her cherry Ben Wall balls for like as a joke. Like I gave them to her as part of her sort of 40th birthday joke, like tighten up down there. And she laughed and she goes, "This is actually what I do." She goes, "This is funnier than you think. I didn't realize I knew she was a PT, but I didn't know for what. And then I said, "Oh, you're the ones putting the signs up in our gym." It was just a funny kind of story.
Oh, that's so funny. So Jennifer, this is exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I didn't buy the device to take home because I feel bad saying, and not feel bad, but it is what it is. I was sort of afraid that my kids would find it, and so I never bought it. But at the same time, I went back enough. I was pretty set on this is going to help me. So I went back enough that they kind of controlled the muscle down, just worked it out. I mean,
really, it's working out the nerves, the tension. So that's a really interesting story. That is, you can over Kegel. That is a thing. So, and now you're better, right? Now you don't have the pain anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy, Jennifer. This is so helpful.
Yeah. Yes. I would highly recommend if anybody is feeling hesitation for, just how personal that type of PT is, I say try it. It's worth trying, and it helped me. So.
Okay. I love it. Thank you, Jennifer. That's so helpful. Thank you for sharing your story, being vulnerable here. We really needed to hear it. It was right on cue. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I appreciate you. And Dr. Emily, this is Sex with Emily. We'll be right back. Okay, let's talk to Matt in Texas. Returning caller. Hi, Matt. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm so good, Matt.
I don't know if you remember me, but I talked to you 2 years ago, and you actually gave me the idea of using candles and just teasing the senses with my boyfriend and everything. And I just wanted to call and give you a status report.
Yes. Thank you, Matt. Tell me everything. What? Do you use the candles?
Yes, we did, and we are married now.
Matt.
So... And we actually wanted to thank you because you're actually the person that helped relight that spark between us. So
thank you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad you called in. That is amazing. Really.
So, we just celebrated our first year anniversary. So I don't know why it's taking me so long to call in.
Well, probably because there's something going on. I'm really glad that I could help you guys. So, what's going on now? I'm thrilled that you're together.
So we're still using the candles, using ice. We're still role playing from time to time.
Did you call in about role playing the first time?
Yes, I did. And we talked about going to a restaurant, meeting up like we didn't know each other, kind of a thing.
Yes, Matt, you were like the first week. You called in the first week of the show, and that was almost 2 years ago. And I tell that story because you called in once, and I said, try role playing, show up as sexy strangers, right?
Yes.
Was that it? And then that worked. Yeah, I remember. I totally remember you, Matt.
And so to the previous caller that called before, just do something new. Just do something new, and it will work out. Believe me. Emily is awesome at what she says, what she suggests. It's awesome.
So happy to hear from you, Matt. We literally talked about you for so long because we were like, they did it. They did the role play. I remember this. So, Matt, I'm so glad. So what's going on now? How can I help?
So we are thinking about introducing toys, but my concern is I don't want toys to replace something.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. People get concerned by that.
I don't want it to take away the attention of the two of us. We've been talking about it. I'm more apprehensive than he is, but I don't know how to go about, to start. I've never used one before.
Okay. So, here's the thing about toys. Toys are just, sometimes they can be more efficient. They can feel really good. Penises don't vibrate, right? Our bodies don't vibrate. It's a great sensation. We have so many nerve endings on our body, places that aren't necessarily reachable by a hand or a penis or a finger. And so, a lot of couples who have this concern have found, and in my 15 years, I've never had anyone call in and say, I left my partner for this cock ring. But what they have said is it can actually really enhance intimacy with a partner because you're trying something new together. So that also has that same dopamine rush because it's something new and exciting. And toys just allow you to explore. I mean, if you think about it, we use technology to improve our lives, right? We're very efficient with, we're like, oh, we're going to get, smartphone or the Alexa for our homes. But with our sex life, we think, oh, it can only be sacred, bodies against bodies. And if you just look at it like playing with each other, I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Okay.
What were you thinking of trying, Matt?
We were thinking of maybe vibrators or a double-ended dildo. I'm not sure yet.
Fun.
Something that just can extend our play a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about get a vibrator, get a penis ring, it depends what kind of sensations you're looking for. But I would start with a vibrator just to feel, because what's really fun is like you could be going down on your partner and use it to tease, their perineum or their balls or the shaft as your mouth is on it, or you could vibrate their nipples with it, or it just feels great because we have so many nerve endings on our bodies. So you could use the massage candle and then use the vibrator over that as you're giving a massage. It's just another way to prolong pleasure and to tease each other and to feel really good. So you could also try a cock ring. You could try something for the prostate. We really love the Vector or the Ditto for the prostate from WeVibe. They're awesome toys. You can control them with an app on your phone from wherever you're at, if you're in the same room or you're across the world. Those are really cool. You could try a double-ended dildo. We've got some on our site as well. But I would just kind of get curious about it and play with it. Penis rings are the Verge and the Pivot. Yeah, we've got them all on our site too if you want to check it out. But I would get something that vibrates, and just know if it's a vibrating ring, you could still put it around your fingers and then use it to tease your partner. So I would just go slow with one thing and just see how it feels and go from there.
Okay.
But they're not going to replace you. Call me if you're like, we're getting divorced because I fell in love with my WeVibe Vector. I'd be like, we got to talk, Matt. But I think you'll find it's going to expand your sexual repertoire. It's going to be the next level of things. Let me know, Matt.
Awesome. Well, I will definitely, I will call back.
Please do, Matt. I'm so happy to hear from you. I always wanted to know what happened. And now that you're married, I'm thrilled. I'm super happy for you. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for calling. Made me feel really good. And
I'll call. I will call and let you know.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great night, Matt. Appreciate you. Let's talk to Martha, 41 in California. Hi, Martha. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to say how amazing. I've been listening to your talk show for a month now. And my daughter, who is in high school, she is a little bit younger. I've only had sex with one person my whole life, and that's my husband. So we learned things together. But just from listening to your show, I've learned so much and have been experimenting new things, and it's been amazing. So even the stuff that you guys were talking about today about finding the G-spot, now I'm very curious to try to find my own.
Yes. Martha, we're going to do it this weekend. Yeah.
I also wanted to tell you, so my daughter's in a steady relationship, and I've been buying like all the lubes and stuff. What I want for her that I didn't have was, in my family, it was always like, don't have sex till you're married, which I did have premarital sex with my husband, but it was always very kind of negative, and they weren't very open. So what I try to do with my daughter, and your show has helped me with that, is try to be proactive in letting her know that it's okay to masturbate and to find what helps her feel good. So I bought her own vibrator and everything. At first she was like, Mom, that's kind of weird. But I've always wanted to have this open relationship with her. So now that she's with her boyfriend and everything, I've bought the Muse, I've bought the Pure and all that. And I've bought my own set of that stuff. So my husband and I can use it, and it's been fantastic.
I'm so glad, Martha. I love this. So you've been using the Muse lube with your husband and other things, but then also your daughter. She's like, because at first our kids, right, Martha, they go, oh, ew. But then you're like, nope, it's not weird at all. Like, I want you to have pleasure. I didn't know this when I was your age. And then she took it, right? And she's using it with her partner. Yeah. Super healthy, Martha.
And it's great because even with her partner, I always tell him, if you guys need anything or have any questions, I want you to come to me. I don't want you, to ask your friends who might not know the stuff. And if I don't know the answer, we can call Emily or, we can ask someone who would know. And I just want to have her have that healthy relationship. And I just wanted to thank you for that. That's really why I called.
Oh, Martha. Thank you. This feels really good. Thank you for calling. I'm so happy to hear this, Martha. That's exactly what I want. That was so brave of you too, to do that. Cause I know it's not easy, right? Your parents didn't do it. And so good for you. I think that's just really healthy. And I love it. Now your daughter can be like that with her kids, and maybe some women listening now or parents listening now will kind of feel empowered to talk to their children as well. It's okay if they're in high school. You should. I think that's when you start talking. Even before that, they ask questions. So,
and I always have. It's just one of those things. And I think they need to know how to be healthy and take care of themselves. So that if I feel like if I talk to them, I think it's better to have sex education and know what you're doing than to be hush about it. And then that's when you get the unwanted pregnancy and all that stuff because they don't come to you. So right. I've always felt that was important.
That is, it is important. And so how did the conversation change now? Like, what would you tell other parents who might be, are listening and they might want to start it? Like, did you go up to her? Did you just hand her the toy?
Well, I've always, started with since she was probably around 9, 10, because I got my period when I was 10. So I always talked to her about, gave her books. First, it was like the American Girl one, which is, very safe, for little kids. And I said, if you have any questions, talk to me. And then she's always come to me because I've always been open with her when she has a question. But when the whole thing with the serious relationship that she's been in for about a year now, I knew that was coming up because they started kissing and then making out. And I tell her, I trust you to know what to make the right decision. I'm not going to tell you can't have sex. Because what happened was I went behind, my parents' back and went and had it.
Right.
Had sex because they were saying you can't do it. And so what did I do? I still went. And so I talked to my husband and I told him, you know what? I want you to know that I'm going to let her boyfriend go to her room, and I want them to have a safe place with me.
Yeah.
In our home instead of them sneaking around. Because regardless of what us as parents do, they're going to do what they want.
They are. You're right. And you just want her to know it's okay. Yeah. And also, if she's going to have sex, she might as well also have pleasure, right? I mean, because I don't know if you had pleasure when you were in your 20s or when you started having sex. Did you have pleasure and orgasms?
No, not in the very beginning. My husband, he always is ready to do anything that I want, pretty much. He's down for anything, really. So
great.
We did learn, and it's been great. But just, with 3 kids and running around and everything, our sex life kind of went on the back burner. But since I've been listening to your show, it's been great. So
I'm so glad, Martha. I'm here for you. I love it. I'm so happy to talk to you. You're doing great work. I hope you have good sex this weekend. Of course. I'm here for you, Martha. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Martha. Of course. Got you. Oh, you guys, I love it. The whole family. Sex with Muse Lube for the whole family. Fun for the whole, I've got it. Might want to talk to my daughter about it. My husband and I are going to work on our pleasure. I think that's great. That's it for today's episode. See you on Tuesday. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast. And share this with a friend or partner. Believe me, if you got something out of it, they will too. We release shows on Tuesdays and Fridays, and look out for a bonus episode every now and then. Find me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's all at Sex with Emily. And I've been told I give really good newsletter. So sign up at sexwithemily.com, and don't forget to check out our blogs. If you want to talk to me, ask your questions about your sex life, dating, or relationships, email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com, or call into my SiriusXM show Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Pacific, and call me, 888-94-STARS. That's 888-947-8277. Get a free 30-day trial at sexwithemily.com/SXM. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.